Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight we're going to look at how should we run tedious things in our projects. Should we use a script folder and then run shell scripts from there? The quick answer is of course no. You should not, because there is a better way. You should. What I think you should do is actually that you should have a package.json file in the root, and that is exactly what I am going to show you right now. This is a Spring Boot Apache Camel project that I created some weeks ago, and I have opened it both in IntelliJ and also in VS Code. I have created a package.json file right here. How did I create that? Was that difficult to create? No, it was not. It was definitely not. Let me just stop this stuff right here, and then I will start a new terminal. I'll press that right here. I have switched, by the way, I am not using WSL anymore. I'm using a pure Windows setup now, because IntelliJ was very unstable and it's very slow when it starts up. It starts indexing a lot of files that it just indexed last time. It also started up. It was really annoying, quite a hassle. So I'm using a pure Windows setup right now, and it's actually not as bad as I would expect. Of course, I miss my WSL, my C shell terminal right now. I'm using git bash for Windows instead, and in my git bash.windows, if I'm in some kind of a project folder, like in Akyurt projects, then I can get a package.json file by writing npm init. So of course you need to have Node installed. If you don't have Node installed, you can install it different ways. You can just go to nodejs.org, and then you press the Windows installer, and just so you know it, you will also get something called Chocolate. Chocolate is used to download dependencies that Node needs to work on your Windows machine. And Chocolate is quite cool and quite good also. So if you haven't tried that, then try it out. You can look for packages online, and then you can install it by writing Choco and install, and the name of the package. So let us check if we have Gradle. Yes, Gradle 7 is right there. So what should I write? I should just write Choco install Gradle if I want it to be installed. I have already downloaded it manually, actually, and installed it manually, because I did not, I don't know why. I should just have used Chocolate instead, but I downloaded Gradle manually, and the same with Maven, actually. Maven can be installed like that. I think next time I will not download them manually. I'll just have Chocolate to install them, because it's a bit annoying to have to maintain the versions myself. It was not that bad. I just had to download the packages, unzip them, and then change my path. Change my path environment, and my path variable right there. And then I had to add the Maven directory and also the Gradle bin directory. So that's actually it. What was it? Yes, let us try to go back to git bash, which is right here. So here we have it, npm init. If I write npm init, then I have Node.js installed, because I get npm by default when I install Node.js. Then I master a lot of things. Which package name do you want? Idea projects. What is the version? Could you please give a description for what you're doing? It does not matter. This is just metadata that you will never use. Enter. And yes, this is okay. And then you get this package.json file right here. Let us try to list the content. Package.json. This is the content of our package.json file. What we need inside this package.json file is this part right here, script test, and here we will place our own scripts. Let us say that we have a project like this. Maybe we have some things that new developers have to run some stuff to make the workspace work, to make IntelliJ work, and to get up and running. Then you can actually name some of these script enabler, and then something underscore something, and then you can then they can do stuff that your new developers in the project then can run. There's one thing you need to do. You need to set the default npm the shell to bash, to git bash. If you don't do that, then of course they will not run the same on. If you have a Mac with Bash, then it will run differently than if you try to run stuff with PowerShell, for instance, or the default command, Windows command. So yeah, go set this to Bash as soon as possible, and I'll just press play. You can see it's very easy to run. It's supported by IntelliJ, this package.json file right here out of the box, so I don't have to do anything. I'll just press play, and then I can run the script right here. So I'm in this case, it will actually it will fail because it's actually just warnings, but it will still. No, it actually fails because I had a comma down there. Sorry, I'll just try to rerun it. Of course, this is JSON, so it needs to be withheld. It needs to follow the JSON standard, of course. So now there was just a warning, and it exited with code 0. Code 0 means that everything went fine. Of course, there was some complaints that my syntax was not perfect. I should have done it in another way. I should have added minus minus. I should have used minus minus location equals something, and then I would have been happy. But I don't care about that, because now npm will actually run these out of the box with the bash shell. You also have to set the VS Code default shell to git bash. Also, you can do that by going to VS Code and then settings or preferences right here. And then you can look for terminal defaults right here, and let us see what it has right here. Here right now I've already set it to git bash, but yeah. So, but that means that when I run something per default, then I'll use git bash from VS Code. Another thing with VS Code, if you can't see this view right now, you can actually see I have a npm scripts view in the left side right here. Then go to view, and then go to open view, and then you would just search for npm like this. Npm scripts, I already have it actually. It's right here. And per default, you will not have that menu, so you have to look it up. It's part of the default VS Code installation, so you do not need to find it under plugins and under extensions as usual. It is part of the default VS Code. And how can you execute stuff from VS Code, you probably ask? Right here, I actually have a list images task or script. I have a script that says list images. Docker list images, and what does it do? Docker images, that's what it runs. Of course, I can run it in multiple ways. I could go to, let me just stop all of these terminals right here. And then I can open up a new terminal. So this is git bash at the start right here. Then I can write npm run, and then I can choose the name Docker list images like this. Of course, I could do that, but of course we are lazy. We do not want to type all that. That's why we have this file at all. So I go to my left menu right here, and then I just press play. Docker list images, and then I get all the images that I have on my Docker system right now. And right now I only have Postgres, the database right there. I can also list containers. Maybe I have some containers running. No, I have nothing running right now. We can also see if I have some containers that are stopped. Then I will write AQ for all. Oh, I should not say Q. That is, then I will only get the doesn't matter because I did not have any containers running. Also, the non-running containers. Then I could also have a command like this, docker run Postgres, and then we could actually start up a Postgres database like this. And remember, I always place minus -im. That means that it will actually remove the container when it stops. I've given it a name just so I can see it. And then I have a -it here for interactive and terminal. So that means that if I run this, then I'll start up a Postgres database. Sorry, it was this one right here. Play. I clicked the wrong script. The good thing about having a package.json with all of your scripts instead of having a folder with a lot of curl scripts, you can see actually I started up here, then I have a script folder right here, then I have a curl API, that's shell, and then of course I will create more scripts for whatever I want to do. Then it's much easier here. You actually have a good overview of what is possible and what did the other developers think when they actually created the setup. Maybe they will have a Docker file right here. Then there would also be maybe a Docker build script, etc. So it's really good. It's also good when you come to creating a pipeline. Then your pipeline can just run one of these, to build your project and to maybe also to distribute to a Kubernetes cluster. what was it? Yes, so now we actually started the Docker. It has started our Postgres database right now. That's quite cool. So I can do multiple things. I can run list containers now. Then that starts in another process, and now I can see I have a container right here. This is my DB, my Postgres database is up and running. Quite cool. And then if I use IntelliJ, of course, it also works right there. So I can list my containers again. Here's my containers. I also have this cleanup right here where it actually deletes all. RMI means remove image, and then -f is false. That means that it does not matter whether a container is up and running and based on that image already. And this will actually fetch out all of the images with only the container ID. No, sorry, the image ID, of course, the image ID. So that's a way to get all of the images. So this should actually delete all of my Postgres images, and it should also cannot be forced. Okay. It could not be forced, so let us create a new script that actually remove all containers. Containers docker rm for remove container, -f for false again, and then ps lists all of the containers. aq also the a is all that, but it will also list the stopped containers, and the q means just give us a container ID. Let us try that and see if that works. Yes, it actually stopped that one container right there. Let us just make sure, and then we will actually list the containers now. Yeah, now we don't have any containers running, and then I can also remove all of my images. I can remove my Postgres Docker image, and now it has been deleted. So pretty cool, and it's much faster, as you can see right here, to press this play button, so you'll be more efficient when you use these instead of course, of course, if you like to type stuff and you want to, if you want to get your APM actions per minute up, then of course you can type stuff manually in a terminal. But if you want to be nice to your colleagues and cooperate with your colleagues, and also if you don't want to be tired in your fingers when you go home, then create scripts like this instead, right? That will be enough typing in the code base anyway, right? So, was there anything else? There was nothing else that I was sick and tired of WSL and IntelliJ. I think VS Code and WSL actually worked fine. It was just IntelliJ and WSL that did not work, and I could run all of my utilities inside my WSL terminal, and as you can see right here now, I have OMC shell. I was actually happy until some update, and then it just started becoming very, very slow to run IntelliJ and to use WSL. But if I run and if I have my projects and my code on my Windows instance instead, then everything just works fine. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.